I know you're gonna dig this.
This is Rhine McLin, host of the Funk Music Hall of Fame and Exhibition Center's award-winning show, Funk Chronicles, recorded live here at DATV Studios in Dayton, Ohio. And now, my studio guest and recording artist, the Mystique, the Dynamic, the Deele, from Cincinnati, Ohio. Welcome.
Thank you.
We're so happy to have you here.
And we're glad to be here.
So what we have here is Dee, Kayo, and the Sticq. Now, Dee and Kayo are from Cincinnati, Ohio, and the Sticq is from Dayton, Ohio. All right. So what we want to do is talk about the beginning of how the Deele came about. Dee?
Okay. Well, we were all singers, musicians, writers, individually. And in high school and in junior high school, Kayo and I, we met in the 7th grade. He was coming to school and I was already at school, and I seen this dude, this perfect afro, you know. We called him straightening comb Bush back in the day, you know, where you took a hot curling iron.
He want to go there.
So we're in the 7th grade, and we get in there. We're in music class, so I'm playing saxophone, playing the guitar left-handed.
Yeah.
And so he told me he was watching, and he's like, man, who's this guy playing left-handed, you know? So that's how we've been friends ever since. And our first group was called The Bad Habits.
The Bad Habits.
Yeah.
Now, what school was this down in Cincinnati?
Cutter High School, which
Cutter Junior High School.
which became the School of Performing Arts.
Oh.
Yes.
And now, you know, School of Performing Arts moved, but that old historic building was our high school. So we, you know, had a band back then called The Bad Habits, and I used to sing like Michael Jackson, which probably every little kid did back then. And we went on to the next phase to Hughes High School, and we had a group called the Backstabbers. Now, let me explain why we were called the Backstabbers. Nothing negative. We loved the OJs. So at that time, we were a 5-man singing group, and that's when we met L.A. Reid. And L.A. wasn't in our group, but he went to Hughes, and he played drums, and he was in a different music class. And he used to always see us, you know, and like, man, I like these guys. He always wanted to get a group together. So we would win all the talent shows and everything. And our mentor, God rest him, his name is Terry Brown. He was our mentor. He taught us how to dress. He taught us the mystique and everything. And so L.A., we needed a drummer in our talent show. So L.A. started playing drums. He was in a different band. And so we would win all the talent shows, everything, you know. And little did we know that Reggie Calloway from Midnight Star, he went to a rival high school. And that year, the talent show was at the rival high school, which is called Woodward High School. So we won that show. And Reggie was the MC, and Reggie came out. He's like, well, I don't even have to tell y'all who won. Y'all know who won. You know, the Backstabbers. So that's how we met Reggie. Little did we know he would be our producer some 20 years later or whatever. And so Kayo in L.A., they formed a group. It was called Essence, Pure Essence. And you talking about bad brothers. They were funk, like Sly and the Family Stone and all that. And I was still in kind of a doo-wop group. Name my group was Sincerely Yours.
So we done went from bad habits
Yep.
to backstabbers
to pure,
Sincerely Yours.
Sincerely Yours to Pure Essence.
All right.
And so these guys, they're doing that thing, and I'm seeing them in the park, and I'm looking at them like, wow, they made it. You know, they stars. That's how I felt. So me and Carlos, ex-Deele member, we're still in a group called Sincerely Yours. So in 1979, we did another talent show, and L.A. came to me, and he was like, D, man, I've got a spot for you. You know, L.A. was always thinking. He's like, I got a spot for you. So I joined Essence, and they put me in the group because it turned Essence around. It made more
Commercialized
people show
the group.
up.
Yeah.
You know, the presence, that what L.A. wanted to call it. He said I had the star presence, which made the group bigger. So me being a Gemini, after about a year, I got bored, and I told L.A. and Kayo, I was like, man, I'm getting ready to do something else, man. You know, quit. So they called me the next day, and they were like, oh, man, we quit too, man. So we were sitting at L.A.'s mom's house at the end of '79, and they was like, man.
Is that in Cincinnati or
Yeah,
in
this is in Cincinnati.
Okay.
And he said.
He was in Cincinnati, but he
Yeah.
was actually born in Indianapolis.
No, he was born in Cincinnati. Babyface is
was
the
born.
only one.
What, Babyface.
So the
Okay.
deal started out, myself, Kayo in L.A., so we're sitting at L.A.'s mom's house. And he's like, let's start our own group, man, and we can leave Cincinnati. And so we were like, what are we going to call ourselves? So I said, well, man, we're always making deals to get this and to get that, transportation, everything. So let's call ourselves The Deele. So we were like, cool. So L.A. said, let's spell it different. Let's spell it DEELE. That's how it became The Deele. And we left. Went to Indianapolis because they had friends and stuff up there. So we were up there doing our thing. And we were so popular when we came to Indianapolis. It's just funny how stuff is. We're in Indianapolis. We get a gig at this club. We're so popular, no other group could get in the club because the club owner just wanted us in there. So it was like when we didn't feel like playing, you know, then another group could come in. So one Saturday night, there was another group in there, Satch from the Ohio Players. So we go in there, and they're jamming. We see this young guy, you know, we like, man, he's one of us. And it was him.
Dun, dun, dun.
But he was just like us, you know, just a free spirit because we was like, man, you need to join our band. He didn't even think about it. He left that night, and came, you know, left Satch and was with us ever since. And so we're up in Indianapolis doing our thing, you know, as they say, struggling, making ends meet, but being a band. Sticking, you know, to the grind and everything, and that was history. We started writing our own stuff, and Sticq, heck of a writer, you know, one of the best writers I know. Kayo's a writer, LA's a writer. So we met up with Bo Watson from Midnight Star, and they loved us. So they started working with us and everything. And that's when we did the demo, and Dick Griffey, Solar Records, loved it. Never had seen The Deele, We were the first group that ever got signed without knowing how we looked. You know, the company didn't know what we looked like. They loved our music so much, they signed us. And that's how the deal came about.
Oh, that's an exciting story.
Yeah.
It is. We talk about homophones, and homophones are words that have the same sound but have different meaning. But listening to you, that's kind of like the core of this group, always making deals.
Yeah, that was the core of it. I want to iterate. By me being from Dayton, I was influenced heavily by the funk that I was around when I was coming up. So it was Slave, and it was the Players, and Platypus Phase. So there was a whole bunch of great musicians, and I was young, and I was coming up. I was the youngest one, even when I got with the deal. But Satch was like my mentor, like my godfather in the music business, and he showed me a lot of the do's and don'ts, and you know how you're supposed to be as an artist. And we played and did shows, and I was when I got to Indianapolis, we were playing in that club that that Dee was referring to, Zodiac Club, right? Yes. And it was packed out every night. We was there for 2 nights, and it was packed out. But what they didn't tell you was, they when they came in the club, I was on stage and I saw them, and they looked totally different than anybody else in the club. And it caught my attention. You know, they just looked like bikers that play music, because they had jackets on. All of them had these tight little bags, you know, that they had, and it was their thing, and they had logos on their little bag, and I seen that, and it caught my attention because it was like a spread of cards, right? And they talked to me after everything was over. They talked to me after the show, and said, you know, hook up with us, can come listen to some of our music. So I did, and I liked it. And like he said, when I left with Satch, I had already made up in my mind that I wanted to be with him.
Yeah, we were on a mission at that point in time. You know, it was do or die for us. So I mean, it was everything. We lived there in Indianapolis for how long?
For probably 3 years.
Yeah, 3 years.
But Indianapolis was good to you, right?
Oh, yeah.
Very good.
It was very good.
And the
Good and
support,
bad.
yeah. But we had support from the fans, though.
Sure did.
Even before we had records.
Yeah.
They would show up like you would think that actually one
Like
of the
we
groups from
already had
Minneapolis
a
was
record
going to be in the club for real. But it was the deal.
Now, one of the things that I've heard you say, which is very important in your industry, and that is not only do you produce, you write, because a lot of the money is in writing,
production,
writing and production, and I think the reason why I emphasize that, because a lot of young kids just think getting up singing is the bomb, but at the end of the day, if they singing your song, you benefiting, and that's the key to understanding the business of being in the music industry.
An older guy that I respect in this music industry, that was a legend really in the business end of it, broke down the fractions for me one time, and he told me, youngster, look here, let me show you. These are the percentages. It's 90% business and 10% music.
Yep.
And those are the fractions and percentages all over the board, and they don't ever change.
It doesn't.
And so I think the reason why I bring this up, because I think it's so important as people look at the Funk Chronicles and see what we're trying to do, and being able to be honored to have experienced musicians as yourself come on the show, to know that it's just not all that, it's a lot of work, but it's the business of it that gives you the staying power.
Yes.
It's the business that gives you the staying power.
And it all intertwines in with everything. Imaging, reinventing yourself. We had to reinvent ourselves so many different times. We're still in the process of reinventing ourselves and doing some regrouping and different things, but you just have to stay current and relevant. Even when we weren't even in the public's eye, we were still behind the scenes. We were still grinding, doing little shows, little cities, still out there, so the fans knew that we were still about it.
Yeah. He made a valid point too. That, to me, that's the most important thing. I call it the aftermath of being out there, and then you come full circle. And the key word he said is staying relevant. You know, you have to, because if nobody knows you.
Have you done Europe? Have you done Europe?
No,
No,
not yet, but we had some,
we
we had
haven't.
some invitations.
I've done Japan.
Yeah,
And-
something about Japan that they like our music.
Yeah, they do.
Love
it.
us
A lot of our
in
entertainers
Japan.
are
I was treated
there.
like a king in Japan. I mean, I love Japan.
So is that on the horizon in Europe?
Hey, if
It is.
if
We hope
the,
so. We really
the
hope
price is right, you know.
Yeah.
All right.
Opportunity presents itself.
Yeah.
so. Yeah,
We're
because
good.
we really want to get overseas. We got a lot of overseas fans, although we haven't
Yep.
been over there. We got a lot of overseas fans, and we're real big in Osaka, Japan. I have a cousin that's over there.
Oh
and
yeah,
he keeps me.
that's
up,
where I was.
Yeah, he keeps me up on it and says they love us still over there.
But that's
And as I just want to say this, as we're ending 2016, for us to be able to be in the Funk Center show and be here for doing this interview is really a blessing, and
Yeah,
we
it
thank
is.
God, because 2016 has been taking away a lot of our entertainers. And we love them and God love them best, and it's just a blessing that we're
To
still
be here.
here to be here.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, for when we came back from L.A. and Washington, D.C., and everybody said they seen us on the BET Awards and everything and was giving us much love, you know, it was just as much of a pleasure for them looking at us as we was experiencing it. They was just as happy for us as we were happy for ourselves, because we got a lot of people on our side that want to
Yep.
see us do good. And
And
that's the deal.
That's the deal. I like that. So, what do you see your? Tell me. I'm going to ask each one of you. Tell me two things about yourself that you would want your fans to know. I'll start with you.
Okay, that's easy. First of all, I'm a Gemini, but the number one thing is that when people see me, they expect me. They after they meet me, they're like, "Wow, man, you totally different than what I thought." They perceive me to be arrogant, you know, and everything. But then they find out I'm like the total opposite of that. And this is just what I do. You know, like people have different jobs. Well, my job is an entertainer, but I don't take it home. You know what I mean? I'm just a simple guy.
Well, first of all,
Kayo?
I'm a believer in God. I'm a strong believer in the God Almighty. So, and you know, everything I do comes from that. So, outside of that, what is it about me that they should know?
Whatever two things that they don't know.
I mean, I'm asking you, is there something that you?
Do you have some great hobby, some hidden hobby that you do, or anything like that, or you'd like to read?
I'm just very, very serious about what it is that we do. I take it very seriously.
Well, Sticq?
Well, I do have a couple things that they don't know about that I love to cook, and that's one of my pastimes. When I'm not on the road, or I'm not in the studio, or I'm not doing anything relative to music, which there are a whole lot of categories when it comes to music that you got to be in tune with. It's more than just playing it, you know. And we lived it for so many years that, you know, as I'm getting into my little older years now, I'm finding other things that I like to do. So I like taking pictures. So I'm a in the closet photographer, and I love cooking. I love that, and those are my passions.
Cool.
I love God over everything, and anybody know I love quartet and I love gospel music, you know. And God has been good to us. I can say it enough. You know, we have been through so many things,
right.
and there's been so many chances that we all could have been dead. Yep. We were riding somewhere. We was on a tour bus, and I remember it vaguely because the Lord's been restoring my memory back. Because my past was terrible. But we was on this tour bus, and we got in a big accident on it.
Yep.
And it was, I think, Luther's and them limos and them just happened to be coming down the road, and they picked us up. But we could have been, the driver went to sleep.
Yeah.
We found out that eventually that he was an addict. We
Didn't know it.
The tour bus driver.
Oh,
so,
wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, where was this?
I'm not
We were
sure
on our way to
exactly where.
Memphis.
Yeah.
It was
okay.
right before New Year's Eve.
Yeah. This really happened too.
Yeah.
And when you said Luther, are you talking Luther
Vandross.
Vandross?
Yes,
Okay.
may he rest in peace.
Yeah, that
Yes,
was,
yes.
He gave us our first tour.
Yeah, good guy.
Really?
Good
Yeah.
guy.
You know
Oh
what?
man.
I still miss him.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
I miss his music, yes.
He is one of the most compassionate, kind,
Yeah,
giving
very kind.
That he
person
is.
that you ever want to meet. He is missed.
Yeah. I remember seeing he and Patti LaBelle in Los Angeles. And, of course, Patti got down all on the floor and stuff. And Luther just stood there to say, as if to say, I wish you wouldn't do that, but I'm going to help you.
Right.
You know? Such a gentleman.
Hey,
Yeah.
but Luther sneak up on you, he go.
Yeah.
When he do that, the whole arena shake. I don't know what they had on his voice, but when he did that, the whole arena would roar.
Yeah.
And he just had that finesse. And we learned a whole lot,
Oh, yeah.
from being on there. We was also with some great writers. DeBarge was on there too as well. So you can imagine us being, they used to call us pretty boys. And then we was on the stage with DeBarge, and they was pretty boys too. So we was always getting mobbed. One time we was in one place coming, I think it was Columbus, we was getting off the tour bus, and they mobbed us. I'm talking about like the Beatles and the Jacksons screaming.
Yep.
They pulled some of his hair out.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And we had guards, the stuff around us. They bum rushed us for real. They thought we was the bars. They seen we was the Deele. Oh my goodness.
So, well, a lot of wild stuff happened.
Yeah, tell me this. Each one of you, giving you opportunity, tell me one memorable occasion. Not y'all can't give me the same one. I want to hear
Yeah.
from each because you all saw it differently. Name one memorable occasion that you did so far in your career.
Wow.
Mine is easy. When we got our first gold record, and we were in the mecca of entertainment buildings, which was Madison Square Gardens, and we were playing, and they stopped the show, and these girls came out and presented each one of us with our gold record. That's the thing I will always remember. That stays with me.
What about you, Kev?
Wow. What sticks out to me, I'm just being honest, we were somewhere, I believe it was Omaha, Nebraska, and I guess with all this stuff going on right now, it kind of just made me reflect back on Ellie and I sitting in the restaurant, and a man walked in and threw his money on the counter and said, I don't eat nowhere where they serve, That's stuck in my mind, because just don't, it's just not something that,
It was the 80s, too.
The what?
It was the 80s.
Yeah, it was the 80s.
It wasn't like it was the
It's just-
60s or nothing.
It was just something I couldn't believe at that time. But that stands out. There's a lot of great moments as well, too. But that was one that came
Well,
to mind.
I'm having a great moment right now just hearing these stories because to be able to just be fortunate enough to play in Madison Square Garden. I love Carmelo and the Knicks and them, and I see a lot of great games there. I've seen some great concerts there at JC, but for my group to Deele to be there and to have the girls walk out with that's a great moment. But what I've been a part of since I've been with the group, my greatest experience was during the filming of the Lifetime Achievement Award for LA. During the times we was doing the practices before the big event, him and I was having a conversation outside, and we was just enjoying each other's time because we ain't seen each other in a long time. And he looked at me and he said, "Man, I sure am glad you're here. I wouldn't have wanted to do it without you." And he gave me a hug. I'm getting kind of choked up a little bit because it really meant something to me. Because of my negligence and lack of maturity at an early age, I missed out on some great opportunities. But there's a saying that they say, that don't kill you, make you stronger. So I kept staying on my grind and playing, and then if you stay in line, everything comes around. When it come back around, if you're still in line, you're gonna get a second chance. You get another time, man. And one of our label mates, Howard here, said the second time is better than the first time with Shalimar, and the second time is actually a lot better. It's greater later, trust me. But you gotta stay in it. You gotta stay at it. You gotta keep practicing. You gotta keep working. And if you have a dream, pursue it. I mean, I don't care what anybody else is telling you. You have to do other odd jobs and do other things that's not even related to your dreams to get to where you're trying to go. That you have to do. But you still keep your dream not on the back burner, but on the priority list.
Wow.
Yes.
That's powerful there. Well, one of the things I wanted to ask you is, why do you believe that having our efforts with David Webb and the whole group that is moving forward to have the Funk Museum and Exhibition Center, why do you think it's so important?
Oh, I'm glad you asked that, because I was sitting here and I'm just, right now, and I'm like, wow, this is an outlet for people to know the Deele, to know Lakeside, to know Midnight Star, to know Faisal, to know Slave, that some of the best, and this is not just because we're sitting here, but this is facts, that some of the best music, people don't know when they hear Slave and stuff, they don't know that it came from Ohio. Howard Hewitt is from Ohio. So this is the Mecca of funk. You got Bootsy, I mean, come on. So this outlet here, the Funk Music Hall of Fame Exhibition Center, this is great, and we should embrace it, and we should do whatever we can as musicians to make it just expand,
blow up.
I mean, this is wonderful.
We want to say a big peace and a big shout out to the Funk Center. Because for us to be considered, to be in this, it's really important, because a lot of people didn't know I was from Ohio. I was from Dayton. Everybody associated me with Cincinnati because the group was from Cincinnati. But I was always representing the city, Dayton. I was putting it down from Dayton, and Dayton showed us a lot of love when we was coming up, and even still they showed us some love. We did a concert not too long ago at Island Park, and the whole city came out. I mean, it was over 4,000 or 5,000 people. They was all the way back over across the bridge. And there's no lie. We got footage and documentary. Oh yeah, we want to also say real quick, everybody that supports the Deele on Facebook and on the Funk Center, support. Check us out. Go like our page. Leave some comments. The pages are up there for you and for your enjoyment. So, interact with us, participate. We thank the Funk Center, for all of their love that they've been showing. And I know they call you Rhine McLin, but you're going to always be my mayor. Okay? I want you to know that.
Thank you. I understand that you gentlemen are going to donate something to our Funk Museum. So you want to tell us about it?
We're going to go with the first things, which are small, and say the big thing for last. And I don't want to interact, but I want to say I'm going to donate one of my favorite pair of glasses. They mean the world to me because a friend of mine gave them to me. And I don't even know if he's still on the earth or not, but I know that I wore these everywhere I go, and there's some Cartier shades, and these were the ones that I wore on the actual stage on the BET Awards, Lifetime Achievement Award for L.A. Reid, and we did our thing on there.
Wow.
Yeah,
And these were one of the glasses that I wanted to wear, and I wanted to donate these to the Funk Center, worn by yours truly, the Sticq. And I also, they say you're gonna give a person the shirt off your back, but we're gonna give them the hat off of our head, and we're gonna donate this right here.
Wow.
It's a derby, and it's a friend of mine that gave me this as well, and an ex-member, and we want to donate this.
Okay, you gonna
Now I'm going to just
jacket
tell you
too?
that
No,
hat,
I gave everything.
being that I'm a hat lover.
Yeah.
You might have to take the hat back, man. No, I'm not. No, because it look good on you, man.
It does look good on you, but
You got to get another one.
Yeah,
Well,
we
we
like
have
it.
to get another
We'll
one.
put it
That's
in
sharp.
for
Being a
Vegas.
hat
For
lover,
Vegas.
I
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
I
I'm
like
like-
Yeah,
that's a
that's special.
sharp hat.
The 17.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's all right to
Well,
say.
we really appreciate it.
Okay.
This baby here goes way back. It goes back in the 80s.
Way back.
And it, is on so many songs that the Deele done and outside of the Deele, I mean,
Names
this is
come up.
really special. Body Talk.
Body talk.
Yeah.
Oh, body talk.
Just my luck.
Just My Luck. This
Crazy about you.
second album, and also Bobby Brown, Whispers.
Can we talk?
Yeah, Can We Talk?
By Tevin Campbell.
Karen White.
Ooh. You're bringing up some names.
Oh yes, Johnny Gill.
Ooh.
So I can think of a few more, but it's done a lot.
It can
It's
go
done a
on
lot
and
for
on
us.
and on.
Yeah,
Those little
it's like it was
pads
back in the
created those
'80s.
drum sounds.
Yeah,
for
back in
all
the
those
'80s.
hits.
So
So I want to know what's the future of the deal. What's on your horizon?
we're working. We continue doing shows, and we also are just now getting started on some new material that we want to come out with real soon. We're just getting in a position to do what we've been wanting to do. So we're about to do that. But right now we're headed to the west side.
West Coast.
Yes, West Coast. Sorry. West side.
Yeah, when you said west
Yeah.
side, so you come on my house. I live on the west side. Okay.
Yeah,
West Coast.
yeah,
West
West Coast, Fresno,
San Diego.
and Vegas. So that's where we're
Ooh,
at.
okay. So that's
Next month,
Next-
February.
Yes.
February. Okay.
I'm saying next month
Well, it
because
might as
almost
well.
out of
it's
it.
ours. It's
February.
It'll be here that
Yeah.
So
quick.
you'll be gone for a while.
Yeah, we'll be
Be on the
gone.
road.
Yes.
Be on the road.
Okay.
Well, whenever you come back around this area, Sticq, I'm going to depend on you since
I'ma
you're my
keep you informed
homeboy.
for
Let
sure.
me know
I'ma
so
keep
I
you
can
informed,
show
let you
up.
take the bill.
So, before we wind this up, I know I got to have these. Just do a little bit. Y'all do a little bit of.
Before he does that, also we're interacting with. We're also working with other talent. You know what I'm saying, and help developing talent as well. I have an auxiliary project that I'm working on called the Bishop Aru Effect, and it's a neo soul type of a thing. But I've been doing it for some years. But I'm still part of the deal. This is just an auxiliary project, but it means something to me. So, thank y'all for letting me be able to say something.
Oh yeah.
Well, you know,
And
one of the
Shout
things.
out to the city.
But one of the things I want to say about this group, that as I had studied your biography, that even though you did individual things and went in and out, you all had a brotherhood.
Oh,
and
yeah,
that'll
is,
never
and
leave.
that
Yeah,
is to be
that'll
commended because
Hey,
that's
never
rare
leave.
among groups that have been around as long as you have.
And it ain't
Yeah.
fake, it's genuine.
Well, we all have different things that we like to do individually. So we go off to do those things, but we also come back to
Yeah, you are allowed that freedom
yes.
Yes.
because you all understand each other.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's really beautiful. Now, I always like to be serenaded.
When we say family, as far as the deal goes, That's not just words. Oh yeah, we're family. No, we really sincerely are
Sure we
a
are.
family. You know?
Well, just being with you today lets me know that you all have that. You feed off of each
Oh, yeah.
other. You've been around each other. You know each other, and you understand one another.
Oh, we love each other.
And I can tell that you love one another.
Yes.
And that's important.
Yeah.
Not only love, but you like one another.
Oh,
And that's the key. You can love somebody and not like them.
That's right.
You should- and you can work with somebody and not like them neither.
Yep.
Because we ain't got to be friends and make money. But that's not the situation.
we've been fortunate.
We've been
to,
fortunate.
So I
She
can't
want to
do
hear you
that.
sing,
to
man.
have it
She'll
on.
be
I mean,
squeezing
it's
her
so
hands
early
and
in the morning.
twitching.
I
Oh,
haven't,
I'm not.
I've never sung this
She
song.
never said that, but I knew that's where she
A
was, where she was
summer
going.
love is beautiful. It's not enough to satisfy emotions that I share between us. To Rhine, oh, winter love is cold sea.
Sing, boy.
Yay! Thank you
You're
so
welcome, sweetie.
much. I really appreciate
Thank you. We
that.
appreciate you.
My favorite line in that song is, "It just intensifies my wants to have a love that endures." Oh,
Thank you.
That's why that song stands the test of time. You
It
know,
does.
here it
Yeah,
is,
it's been,
It is.
2016,
And it's
and
talking
it's still
about it.
relevant.
It's still
People are
relevant.
using it, you know.
that just shows you
It's
guys.
a blessing.
You guys got what
really
it
is.
takes.
Well,
Yeah,
thank you. Thank you.
I want to share this with fans. Little deal fact here. 2 occasions did not start out as a ballad.
What did it start out as?
It was an up-tempo song.
Really?
When I first wrote it, it was, I only think of you on 2 occasions. You know, we're always thinking of funk.
Yeah.
And that's how it started out. And then next thing you know, me and Faze, we kept pedaling around, slowed it down, and became a mega ballad. So,
we love the Funk Center. We want to thank y'all for having
Oh,
us
yeah.
out here. Thanks for
Love
inviting
it.
us.
Yes.
And I'm gonna tell you
Glad
another
to
thing.
be
If you haven't been
privileged
to the
to
Funk
be
Center,
here.
if you haven't been to the Funk Center, go check it out. It's
Yeah.
live. You can
Yes.
get up in there, go see it.
Yes.
Gentlemen, I want to thank you so much.
We want to thank you. as
thank
well.
you.
And it's
Miss
been a
Ryan.
pleasure, and I
Thank you
am
too, Miss
just
McLin.
excited. So this is Rhine McLin, host of the Funk Music Hall of Fame and Exhibition Center's award-winning show, Funk Chronicles, recorded live here at DATV Studios in Dayton, Ohio. And now I would like to say thank you to my guests, the Deele, and
welcome.
keep it funky.
That's
Till I
right.
see you next
Yeah.
time.
Keep it funky.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Funk
thank you,
Center.
Ryan.
Thank you, fans. Thank you,
Thank the
Funk Center.
fans. Thank you, Miss Ryan.
Peace, Funk Center.
Them dogs jam, jigglettes, slam. Them dogs jam, jigglettes, slam.
The silly